Hello everybody and welcome to the Crypto Session Brief. We're on Thursday the 9th of March 2023. We're approaching midday here in Europe. Let's take a look at crypto markets today and what's been moving them over the past 24 hours as well. Not a pretty day for Bitcoin yesterday whatsoever. As we closed below key support, we also put in a lower close on the week and below last week's low. So as you can see reflected in the charts there, a lot of red, a lot of lower closes, and that trend to the downside looks set to continue. This is no real surprise to me. I did suggest if we had that break of when we were trading in this range between 24 and 23, I was saying, basically the breakout of this range is going to decide the next short to medium term direction. We got the breakout to the downside, and then since then, of course, we've seen Fed become more hawkish. Not good for risk assets. We discussed this yesterday. We saw Powell again yesterday, just reiterating his hawkishness with a second testimony within Congress. So now that's done, we move on to NFPs tomorrow. There's not much going on today, but basically now markets are pricing in the prospect of a 50 basis points interest rate hike, 70% probability now, after favouring heavily a more dovish 25% in previous weeks. So that's been one of the main movers for markets this week, has been the shift in the shift in tone, let's say, from Powell. For Bitcoin as well, you add on to that the Silvergate are winding down. This has been a topical in the headlines now for cryptos for a short while, but now it's said yesterday it would have to delay as well. It's filing its annual 10K due to questions from its auditors. So just adding to the misery. It's going to voluntarily liquidate its assets and wind down operations, though. So I think the share price was down over 46% in pre-market trading today. So that just adds to the overall mood, really, in the space. And we know in the crypto space that movement is quite often as well down to overall, let's call it, when you're going up it's euphoric, when it's going down it's you're seeing the complete opposite. And there's no one really talking about at the minute how good BTC is and how it's going to take over the world, etc., etc., because it's just not at that point with the negativity, with risk assets being under pressure. So that's where we're at on Bitcoin technically as well. It's been very bearish now for quite a while. I was mentioning up here, price action looked pretty heavy. We got into here, broke support, and then I suggested a downtrend now until at least 2180. We got there yesterday. We broke it, closed below. Now we're going to be testing that quite important swing low from that was earlier on in the year, just over a month ago now. So that was on the that was mid-Feb. So we're going to come into this level, and then it's going to be a case of can we hold at that level, or will we see a continued move down? Retesting sort of that 20k area could still be possible. I did mention yesterday that Ethereum had been looking stronger. It had been, and you can see it's not been as affected as BTC, albeit we are still trending to the downside, and this downtrend line, despite looking to try and break out of it, has remained more or less intact. And now we look to retest probably the mid-Feb low, which is just a little bit further away than BTC. So you can see why I've been mentioning that BTC had been underperforming compared to ETH, because Bitcoin is already testing its Feb low, whereas it's still got a bit to go, still 70 points or so on Ethereum. But that 1420 area now is my next level of support, really. Apart from that swing low there that we just mentioned, Litecoin as well is also moving lower after breaking support at 88. We're currently seeing some support being found at 81, 85. There was some highs and also some support around this level in recent-ish times, back end of last year, start of this year. Other than that, I see this market can fall all the way back down to 75 and maybe even lower. I can't rule out a move back all the way down to that December, end of December, sorry, around the 60. So still a bit to go, but this trend very much to the downside right now, and sellers will be looking to take advantage of this opportunity, I would say, and jump onto any rallies that we might be seeing in the short term. Of course, NFPs tomorrow could this entire move on the US dollar and in risk could be unwound if we get a huge miss, or if we come through as expected. You might see a little bit of a bid in risk. So we just just be aware of that. I think if we get the opposite on a huge number again, and I just posted inside the chat room this morning, in fact, that we have had 10 beats in a row now on NFP. So this is a significant streak of coming in hotter than expected. Will they make it 11? If they do make it 11, then this trend could, it could firm up. It could get even stronger, and we could see some more aggressive selling. And that's when Bitcoin could be down below the 20,125 to finish the week. That's it from my end for today. See you all inside the chat room. Thanks everybody for listening, and all the best of your trading. Bye for now.